Okay, so this is DHI. And what we see here in DHI is a low that formed on the short term. We got a pop, and the RS is trying to curl but has not yet done so. Low that is due 2.3 to 4.14. So this is a sector to me that is still on the radar to the short side. Has not seen any kind of significant buying, at least yet. Big sell off here post earnings. I like that. 121 to you can see it had earnings, a gap up that got sold, and I added this note. This is a great stock to ask yourself the question: how does this set up again on the short side? Right, that's a question to ask yourself. I will give you my answer. It's going to be different for everybody, but for me, what I want to see is this RS on the daily time frame curl back to red. If that can happen, and ideally it happens somewhere, let's just say around 142-ish, 142.50. If we see some price action back down, you can just visualize the RS going red. So much of trading is done through visualizing the setups you are looking for, right? Visualizing what kind of price action, what kind of change in the indicators you are going to see. So that's why it's so important to have screenshots of those setups so you can always go back to them and use that to help build your own models in your brain. That is why we are not trading in an automated fashion. You have to use that to your advantage, and that's what I'll be watching for. On the daily chart, I curl back here to red. If you pop over to the 2-hour, what I want to see here is I want to see right now we have a slightly red RS on the daily. I'm sorry, on the 2-hour, and I want to see the slim ribbon turn red. If that can happen on the 2-hour, then I'm going to be looking on the short side, because we have a bearish RS 2-hour and a bearish slim ribbon. You have those both lined up. You have the wind at your back. That would shift the bias here to the downside, and then I have a valid trade setup. Now you ask, yourself the same question: what would it be for you? Do you have a clear series of if-thens for your process? If not, try to get to that point. Try to get to the point where you're saying, this is the setup. I don't blindly short into this zone from 150.63 to 160.29 just because this is a lower low. That's not how I do it. Other folks can. It's fine, but for me, I like to wait for confirmation, because oftentimes when you wait for confirmation, you get moves that are faster in your direction. So rather than this kind of chopping around sideways here for a while, I want to wait until I see it fail and get confirmations in the indicators that are lining up with what my overall bias is on this underlying, which is still bearish on the intermediate term and on the short term. All right, so that's really what I want to be watching for, and hope that was helpful.